Hello, Diana here. Hello, Cassandra sisters. Hello, anyone who's listening. I want to talk about being in their world. Now, first of all, this is for the neurotypical person and the neurotypical or the non-autistic person married to someone who is autistic. And what happens is with autism, we know that there is a very strict schedule. Maybe I'm sure we've learned a lot about autism recently, and it's such a good thing. And what I talk about is most of the men that I'm talking about, just from my own experiences, were not diagnosed when young. And so it kind of puts it in a whole nother category, because if you're given the tools when you're young to be able to understand the outside world a little bit better, if you have autism, my goodness, you're going to grow up to be a healthier individual. Now, if you're in a marriage and you've been in one for 30 years, and you didn't know that 20, 30 years, you didn't know that he was autistic, a lot of the times, back when, nobody knew. And sometimes they're going to show some traits or some personality disorders, some comorbidity that is just really hard to deal with. And what I want to talk today is about when you lose yourself in this type of individual, is what I believe is that for me, it felt like a full-time job to just handle the strict schedule and the rigidity in my partner. So when I didn't realize he had autism. And when I started to lose myself, where I was watching all of his television programs, I was shopping with him and buying the same foods and losing everything that meant something to me, even holidays, I gave them up. And the reason I did that, what I believe happens, is that they're not going to be in your world, so you go into theirs, because you feel you're becoming a Cassandra and you feel that neglect. And when you're in their world and you're doing everything they want to, it's a lot easier. Oh my gosh. But it kicks you in the butt after, because you're not being yourself and you're not able to live the life that you want, and you get unhappy. I mean, who wouldn't? That's terrible. So when you lose yourself, you're going into their world. And how do you get back out? It's a tough one. And it goes back to finding the support that you need and going to different Facebook groups and finding people and that live with this same type of situation. You can get onto a Cassandra group, and I mean, sometimes it's the same person they're talking about. Your partner and their partner are the same people. It's mind-blowing, and it's validating, and it's lovely. And that's where you need to go for that support and to find yourself again. For me, I went away for a while. I had to. Coming back, I can feel myself kind of get drawn into his world. And a lot of ways I have to do that. So if you stay with them, there is a level of that you have to do. Now, there's a word, and it's I found it defined somewhere, and we don't use Asperger's anymore, but it's called aspergated. So a lot of the women joke about how they were aspergated, but I don't want to say that word. I don't want to say that word, Asperger. I want to say that it's easier for you as a person that does not have autism to go into their world. It's very, very difficult, if impossible, for them to go into yours. And that is the reality of it. And facing that reality puts you in a heap load of grief, and it's really rough. And you have to decide what you want to do. And for me, I have chosen to stay with him. I don't know what the future brings. We are not legally married. He never wanted to get married. Please leave a comment if that's happened to you, where I really did want to be married, but it's for him, it's that rigid thinking. He went through a bad divorce, and it happens to a lot of us, but his is very, very rigid and why. So let me know if there's been, you know, where you've wanted to be married. Well, I won't go into that, but you know, in the beginning, I should have known, like, well, this guy's never gonna get married. I was baffled, like, why not? What's the big deal? Or at least a commitment ceremony or being together on something. And for him, it's just what's his is mine is mine. So, yeah, let me know different types of dynamics that you're going through with your autistic partner and some of the rigid things that really have been hard for you, and also what have you done about it? I know for me, it's the biggest part is not taking it personal. And the thing is, what bothers me about that too is sometimes it just flat out is personal. If somebody is telling you that these negative things about you, that's not who you are, and that's happened to me, where he just feels like I'm going to be this certain type of person. It's very hard. It's very personal. My goodness. But know that it's him. It's not you. It's just him. It's just his stuff. Again, not easy. I am here with you on that. It is not easy. Again, if you're with him, you really want to live the best life you can. And I'm telling myself this. I know if you're a Cassandra sister, you can teach me so much. This is not a teaching lesson. None of that. I am just here I'm very passionate to talk about it. That's all it is. So leave a comment, give a subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Next time, let's talk about, I don't know, some really weird situations or something. I'll try to think of something. Circumstances where the Cassandra syndrome comes in and you know, there's so many situations where the outside world doesn't understand it and you get into a pickle and then you're kind of the crazy one. So I'd love to hear any stories on that. It's not a laughing matter, I know, but we gotta laugh to keep ourselves sane. All right, take good care.